Hi everybody, good morning. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's just get the little thing here happening. There we go. We're on. Okay, so awesome. So we're gonna do a little recipe today with we're gonna make some kale chive muffins. So and something else too. But anyway, so we're gonna get started right away and I just did the dishes and got the dishwasher, so I'm just making sure that my there's no liquid in here, no water drops or anything for the flour, because I'm just going to add 2 cups of the, whoops, we're already whoopsing already. Okay, 2 cups of the whoops flour, of the gluten-free flour. Okay, so there's 1. And pretty much 2. Okay. Take that off a little bit. Try not to spill anything everywhere. Let's see. Okay, we're just going to put this somewhere. Okay. Hey, Darlene, good morning. Nice to see you. We're going to make some super cool kale chive muffins. Oh, you know what? Okay, I need to do this first. And I've got to just, what I have here is the chia seeds, and instead of eggs, you can use the chia seeds. And so this is like 2 tablespoons of chia seeds and a little bit of water. And you just kind of set that aside for it to gel up a little bit. So it'll get gelatinous. Hey, Kathy, good morning. I finally got to see you on here. I mean, you've been on here, but sometimes I just don't see the notices, and the comments. So anyway, yeah. So the chia seed. So yeah. So the other thing, chia seeds. We're gonna do. We're going to. I need to order another salt shaker, because I love the Celtic sea salt really the most, and I keep leaving it over by the stove, and so I'm going to run and grab that real quick, because I really do love it. I'm pretty sure that you can order these things online, so I'm going to have to do that so I don't keep running around. So a little bit of salt. So we have our dry ingredients. We have the flour, we have the salt. We're going to go with 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and to make them really fluffy, teaspoons. I'm looking for the teaspoons. So hey Jane, yeah. So this is like kind of my version. I was asked, what day is today? It's Monday. I was asked last week to try and do some breakfast suggestions. So, you can do, like, I thought about the egg tofu and the vegan sausages and making like a breakfast burrito. But then I thought, well, really those are 2 processed things, and this is too. But anyway, we'll try a few things, and so, oh, that's awesome. And so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so 2.5 tablespoons of baking powder. Me and my very rough measurements. Oh, I hope that was powder, not soda. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that would have been good. Okay, and then with the chia seeds, like as they're soaking here, this is going to be the egg replacement. The chia seeds are really good for energy. They also have omega-3s in them, which some people don't know. They're antioxidant. Yeah, they're super, super good for you. So we're going to go baking powder, salt. We're going to go with just a little bit of garlic here. So the granulated garlic, and not too much, because it's going to be kind of sort of a breakfast thing. But I am going to add a little bit of mustard to it too. Find the right opening. I don't want them too mustardy, so I'm going to add like a heaping sprinkle mustard. And I'm going to add, because I always love to add a little bit of cayenne just to get a bit of that heat in there. Make it a little bit spicy, almost like a jalapeno, even though it won't really be a jalapeno. Okay, so I'm going to put up the kale while the chia seeds are soaking, okay, because they need to soak for a little bit so they get that gelatinous sort of eggy thing happening. I am going to add a little bit of onion. I have some red onion here, and so I'm going to add that. You can add whatever kind of onion that you want to it. It's funny how, you know, I think onions have had a weird thing this year. I'm always finding little spots in them, and I never used to really find little spots in onions before. So I don't know. And didn't they have an onion recall too? So yeah, it's been a weird oniony year. And I didn't, you know, I'm not very good at growing them. I don't know why. They just don't seem to really, you know, get very big. The greens are good though. Okay, so I'm just slicing up a bit of this. I want it a little bit finer than that, although it doesn't really matter. Whatever works, and I'm actually going to scrape this in. And so the red onion and the chives. Yum yum. So I'm so lucky to have beautiful fresh chives right now. Those are going to be so good in here. Okay, and then we're going to do kale, and because I do have collards, I'm going to use a little bit of collards as well. And usually I'm dumping the cutting board into the bowl, but this time I'm dumping the cutting board into the bowl the other way. Okay, all right. So beautiful different kinds of kale here. And when I do the kale, you know the kale has the kale has so much nutrition in it. It's one of the most nutrient-dense foods. And it was really interesting, like this spring, I had kale from last year, like it lasted all winter. And then it got to where it was like kind of done in May. And it grows so fast. Like it just, these are the new kale plants. And actually, if you regrow them, like if you cut them off at the stalk, they will keep growing. So, you know, they'll grow fresher, newer, softer leaves, fresh growth, you know, tender. That's the word I was looking for, tender leaves. So yeah, I really encourage people to have some kale because it's just so good for you. You know, it's so nutritious. It's just a powerhouse of vitamins and minerals. And that reminds me that the kale salad that we had last week, we marinated the kale. It was so good. Just letting it soak, you know, in the oil and the garlic and the salt and stuff. So I want these, like, remember when we made the, they were like rotis, but they were full of vegetables. So they were like flour and then vegetables, and we kind of fried them on each side with very little, almost no oil. They were mostly vegetables. So I kind of want these to be similar in being mostly vegetable. So, but I need enough flour to hold them together. So this is the Bob's Red Mill gluten-free flour. So I'm going to add that, and then I am going to add the collards too. And it's interesting about the collards. I mean, it's a new thing for me. I've only been growing them for 2 years, and I really, you know, I love them like kale. Like they're kind of like a cross between Swiss chard and spinach to me, you know, or Swiss chard and kale maybe. And so, oh my gosh, it's so much fun to read everybody's comments, but it's hard to say, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. the bees do love the kale flowers in the spring too. I had hundreds and hundreds of bees because of the kale flowers. So yeah, thank you for that, Kathy. But I'm really loving the collards, and it's interesting because I spoke with someone recently who lived in the South, like Louisiana or Mississippi, or one of the places where collards are like super super often eaten. And so I said to her, I said, oh my gosh, you came from the South, and that's like collard country, and so you must know a million fantastic collard recipes, because it's really pretty new to me. I've only been using it for a couple of years, and I use it in salads and stuff. And she said that they put collards in everything, but they cook them. They boil them and cook them a lot, and so they put them in like the soups and everything, and she said it's kind of like, ODing on collards, because collards were almost in every meal. And I said, well, my gosh, they're so nutritious, and they're so full of chlorophyll and all the vitamins and minerals and vitamin K and all that stuff. Like, why not put them in everything? And I guess for some people, I don't know. I think they're fabulous, but she seemed to think it was overkill the way they use them in Louisiana, and I don't know. I think they're fantastic, and they really don't have, they're a little tough and chewy, which is why you have to cut them up like rice, really really fine, put them in things and like kale, and so but they don't have like really that much of a different flavor. I think they're really good. So, yeah, Kathy, turnip greens are really yummy too. Yeah, we did turnip greens in the spring. Oh my God, we ate so many turnip greens, and I actually dehydrated them, and so I have them for in the winter. And that's the other thing. I'll be doing a lot of dehydrating with the kale, although it'll last all winter. I want to have some that's really available, dehydrated, to just add to soups and stuff. So I am going to also add this is my, you can kind of see the end of it, that zucchini that I pulled out of the garden last week, and I was telling you guys, I don't know what it is, but the skin is so tough. It was so tough, you couldn't cut through it. And actually when I peeled it, I had to like peel down to the tender flesh, because there's like 1/8 of an inch of shell. It's almost like a shell, and I don't know if it's the type of zucchini. I don't know if I left it in there too long. I was going to shred this, but you know what? I think I'll just chunk it. So yeah, I don't know what kind of zucchini it is. It's really dark skin, and so yeah, I think I'll chunk this. I was going to shred it, but it's nice to have, kind of like when you bite into a little piece of apple in an apple muffin. It's kind of nice to have a little bit bigger chunks. So I am just going to, can you guys see this? Okay, maybe I need to move over. I just thought of that. I have such a funny camera setup. Hey, Nick, you're here! Yay! So yeah, so I'm just going to do this with the zucchini, and I think I maybe shouldn't do too much, because we're going to be adding quite a bit of liquid, so I don't want to overdo it on the softness. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here, put the zucchini in, and I am going to quarter cup of oil. Okay, I might as well use this. Quarter cup of oil and quarter cup. I like these because you can see through them. They don't have the red lines, but it's also really hard to see. It's hard to see the letters when they're clear. Oh my God, a quarter cup, come on, I can do it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I felt the bottle before I started, and I thought, oh, this bottle's pretty heavy. Apparently not. Okay, quarter cup of oil. let me think about this. Okay, I don't want to run around too much, but I'm going to grab my actual salve oil, which I make salves from, but it's totally edible. So just hang on 1 second here. I am going to see if I can find it. I use these big ones for salve. I mean, they're totally edible, but it's not my favorite brand for cooking. But anyways, I guess that's just how it's going to be. We're just going to use a little bit. This is not a bad brand. It's just not my fave. Okay, so opening up the new can. And then we get the fun part. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Did we do it? Okay. Good thing I wash everything before I bring it into the house, because otherwise I'd be scared to pour straight out of the can like that. Now I'm dumping everything everywhere. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. So, we have our oil. Oh my gosh. Okay, so, okay, I am following a recipe. I do have to say, I am following a recipe. Okay, oil, 1 1/4 cups of milk. This is so much fun. Oh my gosh, we just kind of hang out and do stuff, right? Oh God, you're kidding me. There's not a 1 1/4 cups of milk in here. Oh, I must be having a problem with my weight measurements. Oh, we have 1 cup. 1 cup of almond milk. Don't knock my water over. Oh my gosh, okay. What do you think about this? I have more milk. You know, someone suggested that I pre-measure everything and have it in a nice little, you know, how the professional cooks do it. But, you know, I do like to share, even though we're kind of doing a selfie here and everything's backwards. I do like to share the product names. And so sometimes I'll put it in little containers, and sometimes I just want to show you guys what brands I'm using and, you know, different products that are available. So that's why I don't always do that. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Anyway, okay, off to the 1/4 cup, because I do want this recipe to turn out. And so when you're using almond breeze, it's fantastic, and then you can also use So Nice, which is also organic almond. I generally tend to do coconut milk, but lately, I guess I better measure that. Yeah, I don't know, lately the almond milk's been on sale, and Daniel seems to like it a little bit better. So, that's what I've been using. Okay, so, we got the milk in. Yay! Okay, so we have flour, we have baking powder, we have salt, we have garlic, we have mustard, we have cayenne, we have milk, we have oil, and so we're going to add the flax now, finally, that it's soaked, and then we added the vegetables, the kale, the chives, the onions, and the zucchini. So we're going to get this in here, and it doesn't fit. Okay, we're probably off to a comedy week this week, but I have to tell you guys, I'm really sad. I'm happy, but I'm sad that I am going to be doing it doesn't want to come out. There we go. I'm going to be doing a herbal intensive for the issues that we might be experiencing this winter. Oh, I forgot the other thing. I'm going to add some of the Diet cheese too. Dump that in. Okay. That's the jalapeno one. And so I'm going to be doing a herbal intensive research project for the things that may occur this winter. And so I hate to tell you guys, but I'm going to be studying like all day, every day. Like it's sort of like we're doing a bit of a class online, of course, with a couple people, several people. But anyway, Anyway, okay, long story short, I'll be gone from like Wednesday to Wednesday. So I'm going to miss you guys. I'll be away for like, well, I mean, not away, but I'll be at the thing away from you, which I'll miss you so much. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday. And so we might finish the class like, it all depends on how far we get with the research, but we might finish it Tuesday, so I might be back with you next Wednesday. But I will be here tomorrow. And then I'm really excited because, how come that flower's so lumpy? I'm really excited because I want to learn as much as I can to be as helpful as I can for everybody this winter, because we don't really know what's going to happen. You know, I'm really hoping for herd immunity. And for that to happen super fast. This is my old cooking thing, tin thing. Okay. Anyways, well, you know what? I don't need to do that in front of you guys. Let's do the next recipe. Okay. I will just let this sit for, because it'll only be a couple more minutes, and it will, it'll be okay, won't it? It'll be okay for a minute. We'll just be a couple more minutes. So, yeah, because that's going to be boring watching me do that. So, okay, next recipe. I am going to turn my cutting board over because I don't want onions in this next recipe. We have here, okay, so, yeah, so I'm super excited about this research project. And, okay, what am I doing next? And so we're going to be studying the herbs, all of the herbs for these, the symptoms that are happening, because there are a lot of symptoms happening that don't seem to be related, but probably are. You know, people are experiencing things like body aches, headaches, and you know, anxiousness and loss of breath, and all kinds of different things that don't really have the typical symptoms that they are looking for right now. And so I'm going to use this one. So we're studying the different symptoms and what to do for those symptoms, because, you know, I mean, basically it's like the instructions are isolate at home, and that's not always the most helpful thing, or while you're doing that, I mean, I don't mean by not the most helpful, but it's not the most comforting thing to be like all by yourself, wondering what's happening. So we're researching all the different things that you can do, the things, obviously the things to have on hand, herbal things, food things, you know, drinks, things that will rehydrate and comfort and all that stuff. So I'm really excited about it. I'm sad to miss you guys for this week, but it's going to be really important to have that information and that knowledge for, you know, for what people can do. And there's just so much going on. It's changing so much. Like I said, there's so many different symptoms. Okay, back to the program here. Pull myself together. Okay, so we have dates. I did soak these, and I don't want the water, but I did soak them a bit. And okay, so those are also the pre-chopped dates, and we're going to add, because I love it so much, I say that every day, I love it so much, cayenne. We're going to add a little bit of cayenne. We are going to add cocoa, pure organic cocoa, just because I love that even more. What do you think? It's enough? I mean, you can never have enough cocoa either. We're going to add a little bit of my mind is just going. A little bit of almond cashew butter. And just to be on the safe side, I am going to rinse my hands off before I do this, just because I don't really want this to taste like onions. And I did touch the onion. Even though my hands are clean, I don't want this to taste like onion or whatever else, chives and stuff. Okay, so this is almond cashew butter. You can use whatever kind you want. I don't want too much. And you can use as much as you want to. You don't have to use too much if you don't want to. You can use as much or as little as you want. Okay. Okay, so these need to go there. This needs to go back on. We're going to add just a weensy bit of vanilla. And, okay, and then we're going to add some ham parts. And we're making power balls. All right, that's what we're doing. Power balls, and I'm going to say a 1/4 cup of ham parts. That'll give you your protein. The protein is going to help to balance the, the sweetness in this. I don't want to say sugar too much, but the sweetness in it. And also we're adding pecans, so that's also going to balance the sweetness. So, I should probably cut these up. Oh my gosh, okay. Have I got everything? I think I have everything in there. Okay, I am going to rinse my hands because this is, making power balls is kind of a hands-on thing, and you have to roll the little balls. So I will rinse that off. With a little bit of soap, and you guys do know that it's the Dawn blue soap that works the best, that they're suggesting for this viral thing, is the Dawn blue soap. Apparently it's the best. That's what I heard. Okay, so hands are clean. I am going to pre-open because my hands get quite mucky. I'm going to pre-open the coconut here and just put a little bit in here so I don't get everything too messy, because I'm going to roll it in the coconut after. Okay, that's probably enough. Okay, so yeah, so we're just going to make power balls here and mix this together. And with the dates, oh my gosh, just crumble them with my hands. Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I was thinking. As I'm massaging, I'm crumbling the pecans. But sometimes it's really nice to have chunks of pecans in your power balls too. It'd be more like a turtle. So, and that was the other recipe that we did last week that was so, so good. Oh, I'm just looking at all the pear apples behind me. I've been dehydrating like crazy. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to turn off the dehydrator. I hope the hum is not too loud for you guys. But I've been dehydrating like crazy. I've got 3 dehydrators going, and I've been doing, hey Kim, nice to see you. Yeah, so 3 dehydrators going, and one of them's just not working at all, really, and so I kind of ruined a couple batches. So my wonderful husband said he'd go halfers with me on an Excalibur. So I'm so excited. I'll be so happy to have an Excalibur. So here we have the lovely turtle ball, kind of a turtle ball with the hemp hearts. And I think the hemp hearts really helped it to, not be so sticky. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to put the coconut here and kind of, grab a little piece and roll them into the coconut. So that looks like a chunk of peanut butter. Not peanut butter. We used almond cashew butter, but it looks like a chunk there. So I might just remix this. Okay, that's good. I think it's good. On the other hand, if you get a piece that has more of the cashew almond butter, that's not so bad either. Now I just ruined my nice perfect ball. Okay, so here we go. These are going to be super yummy. I did not use any coconut oil in this, so they will be able to survive if it's in a warm place. You want to make sure that if you are using coconut oil, that you can't have it in a really warm room, and so because it will start to melt. That might be a little too big. Anyway, so these are super good for energy. Of course, your nuts have these are raw pecans, so the raw nuts. There's a ladder going up against my window. Okay. Always makes me nervous. Anyways, okay, so almonds, yes. I mean, pecans, that totally distracted me. Pecans have really great protein in them. You should always have your nuts raw. If you're sensitive to ruts, if you're sensitive to nuts and you have digestive issues, it's nice to soak them a bit. Maybe not so much for pecans, but especially for almonds, to soak them. Really helps with the digestibility, and hazelnuts too. And like Nick was saying, that that when you soak the almonds, it activates the enzymes, and so you should probably not use the water, which I totally wasn't paying attention to last week. So thank you for that. That's one of the things that I love about doing this Facebook Live, is that that we share information and ideas, and it's really just about sharing information and ideas and health tips and anything that's helpful and useful. So it's so cool to have you guys here live and hanging out and participating is so fun. Because I am a certified herbalist and natural health consultant, but I'm not a professional cook, so I really, really love hanging out and learning new things about cooking these healthy foods. It's pretty easy to stay healthy and eat healthy when you God, that's distracting. Sorry. It's pretty easy to stay healthy when you're just eating raw fruits, vegetables, and making smoothies, and it's just all good food. But when it comes to putting things together, there's so much individuality to it. Some people have to do food combining because their digestive system is so sensitive. Some people are sensitive to lectins, and some people are sensitive to nightshades. Some people are sensitive to nightshades and lectins. Some people are, if you're working with blood sugar issues, then you want to make sure that you're balancing anything that you eat with a protein, and hopefully a healthy protein. So like if you were having pasta breaks down into sugar pretty fast, as well as breads, cookies, crackers, anything, flour and water, right? It's like poof, it's like paper. And so that can spike your blood sugar, so you want to make sure that you're adding some protein to that. On the other hand, your best bet is to really add vegetables to it. So the protein slows down the sugar absorption, or the sugar, the sugar absorption into the blood, and then your pancreas has to deal with that, that rush of blood sugar. And so the protein slows that down, which is why they talk about complex carbohydrates, and that it should be not simple carbs, because that will or can spike your blood sugar depending on how sensitive you are. I mean, it does spike your blood sugar. And like I like to say, they always, in the old days, they would serve peanuts with beer, and they would serve wine with cheese, or cheese with wine. And that's just to slow down. Well, it's not just. I mean, it's to do other things too, right? It's to slow down the absorption of the alcohol, but it's to slow down, mostly, it slows down the absorption of the sugar into the bloodstream. So, super important to watch your blood sugar. Some people don't do well with raw foods, even though raw is, ultimately the healthiest. Some people just don't have the digestive system to be able to break down raw foods, especially if you're chewing a carrot. most people don't chew it enough to actually break it down enough to get all the nutrition out of it. So you can eat all the carrots you want, but if you're just chewing and then you've got little chunks and the chunks are not being digested, then you're not getting all that nutrition, which is why the smoothies and breaking down and steaming, sometimes people just can't do raw and they need things steamed so that it's kind of pre-broken down. And especially I find for myself, if you look into Ayurvedic constitutions or traditional Chinese constitutions or that kind of thing, I'm kind of like a cold, damp person. And so internally, that's my constitution. And so in the cold, damp winters, I don't do well with raw foods. And I don't know a lot of people that really do, because our weather is so damp. Like some do, but you have to have the constitution that actually will break down the foods so that you're not depleting yourself. So there's a lot of study in that, depletion. Like if you're dealing with a health issue, there's a time to heal and build, and there's a time to cleanse. And if you are in a depleted or weakened state in your health, cleansing is not a good thing, because that can make your body weaker. So if you're not feeling well and you're like, oh my God, I need to do a cleanse, you really need to speak with a natural health practitioner or a naturopath or something and find out exactly what's going on, because it may deplete you even more if you were to cleanse. You may need to build your body, your internal body up before you can cleanse. And that's super important, because a lot of people go into a cleanse and just drag themselves down even more. So it's really important to get that professional advice as to what you might need. And just oh, that's cool. Manik, yes, thank you for that. Yeah, well, that's it. It's a better choice, right? I mean, I'm certainly not perfect anything. I'm not a perfect anything. I'm a flexitarian. I try to eat as healthy as I can and as vegan as I can, because I know it's a healthier choice. But at the same time, there are a few things that I really do like to enjoy once in a while, and I just try and make sure that is the healthiest choice possible. And anything that I do that's bad, I try and reverse the effects by doing something healthy. So I do like my wine. I do. All of you that know me know how much I do. But I make sure that I drink my greens every single morning, eat as healthy as I can, and so I'm trying to increase or enhance the balance of I'm doing 80% good, so that it's not going to deteriorate my health to do 20% bad or 10% bad or whatever that is, with that, so that if I do go out and enjoy one of Vancouver Island's best donuts, it's not going to set my health back, because I've done so much good that little tiny bit of flour and grease isn't going to hurt me. But if you are having health problems, you need to get that balance to where you can do that, to where you feel good enough and healthy enough that you can withstand a little bit of naughtiness. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Okay, so we'll see you guys. I have to get this in the oven like ASAP. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 11. Check out my YouTube channel and my Instagram, and I'll see you at 11. And have a really great day. We're very lucky. It's not too smoky out there with all the fires going on. My heart goes out to that devastation. It's just, man, oh man, send prayers to all the people experiencing that, because they really need it. And so share this, check out my Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube. Yeah. Okay, see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day.